This is it, the first real-life video of the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And something about it looks very different. Not a render, not a concept. This is the actual device in someone's hand. All right, so this brand new leak just dropped, and if this is really the Galaxy Z Fold 8, Samsung might be going for a completely different design direction this year. Let's break down everything we can spot in this video. First things first, the design. This thing looks way more boxy than before. Flatter edges, sharper corners, almost giving off that ultra premium slab-like feel. And honestly, it looks closer to a mix between a Fold and a flagship Ultra phone. Now look at the camera setup. We're seeing a triple camera layout stacked vertically, but the rings look more refined and slightly larger compared to previous models. This could mean upgraded sensors, possibly a big jump in camera quality this year. Next, the hinge. From this angle, it looks cleaner and tighter, which could mean less visible crease, better durability, and maybe even improved dust resistance. That's something Samsung has been trying to perfect for years. Also, notice how thin it looks from the side. If this is the final design, Samsung might finally be catching up to those ultra-thin foldables we've been seeing lately. But here's the interesting part. This doesn't look like a flashy prototype. This looks like a real working unit, possibly being tested in public, which means we are getting very close to launch. The official-looking renders of the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 and the all-new wide version just leaked from internal One UI 9 files, which means this is as real as it gets before launch. And honestly, this might surprise you. Let's start with the regular Galaxy Z Fold 8. At first glance, it looks very similar to last year's Fold 7. Same clean, minimal design, same vertical camera layout. And yeah, this confirms something important. Samsung is going for refinement, not revolution this year. But don't get it twisted. The real story is this, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. This is where things get crazy. So, according to the leak, Samsung is working on a shorter but much wider foldable. Think about it like this. Instead of a tall, narrow phone, you get something closer to a mini tablet when opened. This new aspect ratio is designed to make videos look better, multitasking easier, and overall usability more natural. Basically, Samsung is fixing one of the biggest complaints about foldables. But here's the twist. The wide version might only have 2 cameras instead of 3. Yeah, Samsung is trading camera hardware for a completely new form factor. From the renders, flat edges, check. Minimal camera bump, check. Clean matte finish, check. And both models look almost identical when closed, but totally different when opened. And here's why Samsung is doing this. Apple's foldable iPhone is coming soon, and rumors say it will use a wider, more tablet-like design. So this wide Fold 8? This is Samsung going on the attack first. But let's be honest for a second. This is not a massive redesign. It's a strategy shift. According to a new leak from Jason C., the Galaxy Z Fold 8 isn't trying to impress you with crazy gimmicks. It's trying to fix everything people quietly complain about. And trust me, once you hear this, it completely changes how you look at Samsung's next foldable. So here's what's coming. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 could be around 4.5 millimeters thin when unfolded and about 9 millimeters folded. Now yeah, that sounds slightly thicker, but that extra space? It finally means something real. A 5,000 mAh battery. Not just getting through the day, but actually trusting your foldable without worrying every few hours. And it gets better. 45-watt charging. So those small top-ups? Way faster, way less annoying. Now cameras. This is subtle but important. New 50-megapixel ultra-wide. Improved main plus telephoto. Not flashy upgrades, but the kind you notice after using it daily. And this is where it gets serious. Better cooling to performance stays consistent, less visible crease to more natural display, and possible S Pen return. Productivity is back. This isn't Samsung chasing hype. This is Samsung perfecting the experience. Now here's where things shift. Because while that leak focuses on experience, a second leak just showed us something physical. Two leaked images showed dummy units or early prototypes of all three foldables side by side, and right away, something stands out. The standard Fold 8 and Flip 8, yeah, they look pretty much like what we expected from previous renders. But then the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide shows up, and it's a totally different beast. This thing is shorter, but noticeably wider, which hints at a 4:3 aspect ratio. That's a huge deal because it makes the foldable screen feel way more like a tablet instead of a stretched phone. Basically, less awkward, more usable. And here's another detail most people will miss. All three devices have these circular cutouts on the back panel. Now, these could be placeholders for magnetic wireless charging coils, something Samsung has been experimenting with. Think MagSafe, but Samsung style. Now, these might not show up in the final version. Samsung usually hides these internally, but still, this tells us where things are heading. According to a fresh CAD leak from Ice Universe, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 will feature a noticeably smaller cutout for the cover screen's selfie camera. The reported size is just 2.5 millimeters, which is around 33% smaller compared to the 3.7 millimeter cutout on the Fold 7. And while that might sound minor, the visual difference is actually quite noticeable. The front display looks cleaner, more uniform, and slightly more immersive. But this also raises an important question. Shrinking a camera cutout usually affects image quality. So how exactly did Samsung manage to reduce the size this much? The leak hints at some kind of new display or hardware adjustment, possibly allowing Samsung to keep the same sensor while minimizing the opening. Interestingly, this comes at a time when Samsung took the opposite approach with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, where the cutout reportedly became larger for a wider field of view. So clearly, two very different strategies are being tested here. But this is just one part of a much bigger upgrade story. New reports suggest that the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Flip 8 will bring meaningful improvements across key areas. Now I gotta ask you down below, would you pick the normal Fold 8 or go all in on the wide version? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe because when this officially drops, we're covering everything.